Hello, hello. This is Big Bass Lake in the Chippewa National Forest. We started our adventure off at the supervisor's office in Cass Lake and picked our maps up, our dispersed camping maps. We had a look in there when we found on map number 20 Big Bass Lake. There was multiple campsites on this lake, so we thought we should go out there and check it out. W30 and W68. We did our due diligence and looked on Google Maps to find a suitable spot for the gypsy wagon. Down by the water looked a little rough, so we decided to head on out. We stopped at the National Forest Chippewa sign, and we found this picnic area and access to the North Country Trail. This picnic area looked very nice, so if you're in the neighborhood right before Walker, stop in there, check it out. The North Country National Scenic Trail, very long trail, goes, east to west through the whole upper side of the country. We decided to let the gypsy wagon cool off a little bit and have a good look around. And then I found the access to the trail right here. Cuts right through this here park. Good fire pits. Be perfect spot for a little picnic. Have a little fire, if you're headed farther up into the woods. This would be a nice little wayside stop. I also decided to throw the drone up too, just to get a good look-y around, This is beautiful country up here in the North Woods of Minnesota. I enjoy flying my drone. It was a little windy, so it wasn't as smooth as I liked it to be, but I still appreciate Mother Nature's beauty here. The more I fly it, the better I get flying it. The more fun I have with it. There was some wood there you could have chopped up. We decided to hit the road again. We were only 5 miles away to Big Bass Lake. Had to hop on a couple of Forest Service roads. You do your due diligence, check them out on the map, make sure you're headed in the right direction. We're going to turn off to the left here on a little wore down Forest Service road, kind of hidden. Didn't have very good signage right here, but this road was a little rough for the gypsy wagon. I had to look again and make sure I was headed the right way, and thought I'd back her up in there, get her up in there. And this is the camp. We stayed here over a week. I want to say closer to 10 days, maybe even 12. We stayed here quite a while. There was a lot to do here. I had 2-3 bars of LTE cell service. It was a nice camp. I actually had family join me later on, probably day 5 or 6. They saw my Snapchat and said, "Oh, we wouldn't mind coming out there." So I sent them the coordinates, and they're going to join up with us a little later. But this is the aerial views of the Big Bass Lake at the Gypsy Wagons camp, just off in the distance there. Very pretty, very pretty. Multiple islands to go explore on. They call it Big Bass Lake for how much shoreline there is with all the islands and everything. Let's continue down to the water. Very rough road. I didn't want to go all the way down to the water. And you can see that there was nowhere good to park the gypsy wagon down here anyway. So I decided to let someone else have the camp down by the water. Like I said, I had some family join me on day 4 or 5. Nice rock fire pit. Let's throw the drone up here by the water, see if we can get an eye on these other camps. There's more camps than the booklet says. I want to say there's 3 camps on the islands, and then there's a camp right here on the water, right next to the public access. This camp gets some traffic coming to check it out. ATVs enjoy the Forest Service roads, and there's a couple local people that stopped in here and enjoyed the views of the lake. I can't blame them. It's very pretty. Lots of green in this water. We had tried our hand at fishing. We took the kayak out for a few adventures, actually. Stay tuned to part 2 to check out all the islands and some of our fishing, and I also did some foraging, and I'll show you how and what we made with that in part 2. So make sure you come back and check all the videos out of Big Bass Lake in the Chippewa National Forest. This is the parking area here. I found a slew of mushrooms. I found some raspberries. I found some bugs. Yep. A hiking trail wasn't too far away, so if you do come here, you could go partake in that. There's actually a couple of hiking trails around here. Lots of wildlife I did saw. I saw ducks, loons, lots of loons actually. I saw a few fish. I saw some deer on the way in. Lots of tracks. Yep, lots of good wildlife. Oh, the frogs. They be talking. They be talking all night long. It was just that time of year where they were breeding real heavy all night long. But here we are. We're exploring camp here, having a good look-see around. This was my first time here on Big Bass Lake. I got told to go check it out at the last camp I was at. That was Long Lake, that teacher guy. He said, hey, have you been over there yet? I was like, no, tell me about it. And he was like, oh, there's a bunch to do. Those islands out there are very pretty. So that's what I did. I came on over here and checked it all out. Then I had a good look-see around, and, I found mushrooms galore. Here we go. We're already getting into it, and bam, here we are. We got ourselves some chanterelle mushrooms. This one had an eye on the top. I didn't really like that, but those little buttons there, ooh, they were good eating. They were good eating. They taste like apricots. And I cook them pretty good. I cook them in butter and garlic. We had some garlic puree that my cousin done brought. Here's some more chanterelles. We ate that one for sure. And those buttons, that's what you're looking for, is the small little ones. They have the most good taste. We didn't eat that one. We ate that one. I had a good time hunting these chanterelles. And then every few steps I found more and more. Look at these. Just popping up out of here. So chanterelles, they don't have gills. I'll show you more in the next video, but they're a good meaty mushroom. We just ate them in butter and garlic. Like I said, every couple of steps I did find more. Lots of them up in here. You can see the shoreline is just beautiful. Now this trail is actually going back in here for people to go potty down at the end of it. I found a slew of TP, which it is what it is. People gotta go. Here I found some crown-tipped coral mushroom. You see it here? The tips got little splits on the end of them. This is a choice mushroom as well. We did not eat these ones. We stuck to the chanterelles. And then I took a couple more steps back in here, and I found some slippery ear cup mushrooms, I believe these are. A slippery ear. These two, they are good for soups and stews. They help thicken up the water in a good stew, you know. And then here on this back tree here, I found a lot of that slippery ear right in here. And then on that back tree right there, right up over my head there, I found some of this. I believe this is chaga, I believe. If you know for sure, let me know in the comments below. I'd appreciate it. I love my knowledge. Here was the next morning. Had a beautiful sunrise. Some good color. Chachi and I went out for a good walk. Had a good look-see around camp here. And wouldn't you know it, it rained, so I had good wash water. Here we are looking around camp, and I found some wild berries. I had a good fill of these berries, for real. I went out almost every morning for an hour and picked berries. I found 5 or 6 different spots. The pollinators were wild here, lots of flying bugs. I enjoyed the butterflies and the bees, but I did not enjoy the flies. The flies were real bad in the woods, but where I was camped, they weren't too bad. But these bees, they were good company. Lots of them. On these pretty, pretty flowers. The monarch butterflies were thick in here too. I found a couple caterpillars.
That's my generator.
Here's
box.
my
I have a 100-foot cord going to
generator
the
box not too far from camp. And the berries. My cousin, she enjoyed picking these berries as well. She had her fill. I believe they made pancakes with them. I put them in my cereal. Here I go. I'm checking out camp. Had my sawmill out here. Here's my fire pit. I wasn't the first one here. I didn't make that fire pit. Someone else did. So I thought this was a good camping spot for the gypsy wagon here. Once I got up in here, you can see all the flowers, lots of little purple flowers. And when I got into this little low spot here, I found a bunch more raspberries. And they were prime for the picking, for real. Prime for the picking. Like I said, I came out here almost daily getting my fill. There were so many. I just clean my glasses, make sure I could see the big good ones. I wanted the good full ones. Yep. besides the first night of rain, it was very nice weather. I had like 3 or 4 days of overcast, and then I had 3 or 4 nice days of real good sunny weather, and then it overcast again. But it wasn't hot, you know. It was just right. Went back to camp and shut my generator off. I got about 100-foot cord, and I like to tie it up to a tree because I don't like to hear noise. When I'm out here, I like to be in the nature, and having it right along the road didn't seem too inconvenient for me. And you can see it's just a tub flipped upside down with a couple holes cut into it for exhaust fumes to go out. I later found out that I was on an ants mound, and they almost made a home in my generator, which wasn't the end of the world, but you know, it's good to look out for those things. Even on the backside here, I found even more berries. They were thick. On both sides of the road here, they were thick. Chachi enjoyed her time outside here. She went for a walk with me almost every single day down to the water and back. I had that yellow gas tub out in the road so they'd notice slow down for Chachi. I only saw 1 or 2 cars pass me.
We're gonna go right into the freezer. No problem. Right into the freezer.
Now the reason I freeze them is because flies lay eggs in there.
Hello.
And here's my cousin. I thought I'd meet him out on the road. You know, make sure they don't get lost, and also to show you guys the state of this road. I know I'm going a little fast, but you can see how water cut it is and bumpy, and there was a tree that blew over that I had to move up out of the way to make sure we could get through. I don't believe that was there when we first came in there, so it's another reason why I like to have the moped, so I can go check out trails before I take the gypsy wagon down. You can see it's just really, really cut up water. And then there's a right or a left here. The river or the lake is to the left, and gypsy wagon's just down there. I didn't think it was too close to the other campsites to be an inconvenience for someone else if they wanted to come camp. But like I said, my cousin, she saw some of the snaps I had on my story, and they wanted to go camping anyway, so I said, why not? Let's go, let's hang out together. And they came, and you can see even this car is having not trouble, it's just a lot. And here's the parking area. I pitched my tent right when she said that she was coming to make sure no one would swoop in here. So I let them get all set up, and then I said, well, you know, there's supposed to be fish in this here waters. You want to take the kayak out? And as they were getting set up, I had to go up here and get the kayak all ready to go, make sure I had the life jackets, you know, and the paddle and everything. And they came came and scooped it up for me so I didn't have to drive it on the moped, which was fun. Almost ate shit, for real. This was shot on my phone. Had all my fishing supplies and everything. And you can see they liked where my tent was, so they put their tent there, which just fine. I ain't staying down here, but man, look at those views. Look at those views. Here we are the first night they were there. I decided to go out on a little sunset cruise with my Chachi. She don't mind the kayak. She kind of likes it. But I'll let you guys enjoy this. We're actually going to go check out one of the island camps. So I'll talk to you more when we get out there. Just enjoy the water and ride with me and my Chachi. As you can see, we got a nice fire pit. We got a picnic table up over here. Man, these views are just beautiful, aren't they? Look at around camp here. Oh, gorgeous. I'll be back. I'll be back. Hi, baby Chacha. All right, let's go. Let's go. Come on. Yeah. Yeah, you come with Daddy. You come with Daddy. Oh, yeah. You're so good. Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. You're Daddy's little baby good girl. Yeah. Okay, up. All right. Stay. go home. Did you see the beaver? Slapped right in front of camp.
Oh, I thought Chachi fell in or something.
Oh, she's done that before. She's done that before. Stay. Chachi, stay. Be a good girl. Stay.
I see land. She's like, get me out of here.
Okay. Be nice. Stay. Stop. Stay. Stay. Well, that was our cruise on Big Bass Lake. Stay tuned for more in part 2. Get out in the woods and enjoy. Thanks for watching, everybody.